Okay, here we go. I think it's going to be the last one in the series, unless I'm going to be doing any blathering today. 5:44 p.m. West Coast time, Sunday, the 30th of June, 2024. A very emotionally frazzled We were John City, Roseman, California. Quay. Yeah, well, he's right there. Okay, I wanted to show you something that I was going through, guys, because this one scared the hell out of me back in 1994. And it did. And I had a hell of a time trying to deal with it afterwards. So, in the lovely town of Reseda, on a street of sandwiched between Santa Coy and Sherman Way, right by Tampa, it was home. It was home. It was home. Street called Claire. Sandwiched between Sherman Way and Santa Coy, and in there was home. 7416. I think it was named after my grandmother. 12 to 13 years living in that place. It was home. Memories. A lot of them. These days, the property is not exactly the best thing to see these days. It used to be a long time ago. It was home. It was supposed to have been part of an area that was nearly landmarked because it was part of a ranch. It was a ranch house. Whole area before it got made as it is with all the construction used to be a ranch area, and the place we lived in was a bunkhouse of sorts. I used to live in this place. I used to live there. I heard like hell too. Flat roof, cement foundation, leach lines, and a septic tank. Leach lines would definitely put the stuff, all the liquids under the ground, or actually into the septic tank itself. It used to be a home that I would call home a long time ago. 1994 hit. Whole area got devastated. Most of it had been on the lines for DWP, so all the sewer lines were connected, except we were on, at the time, on this septic tank. Thank God it didn't burst, but I think they were having problems, but the leach lines collapsed. So the brown and black water going into it. There was issues with that, and the landlord had to get some construction help to dig it up, repair it. But it was problematic. 94 earthquake hit. Everything was shaking like crazy during those days. I didn't think I'd feel that much fear and terror in that place. But this was home. This was home. I couldn't tell you any more about it, except, I kept saying it's home, it's home, it's home, it's home. Unless you've already been through it. I bet I had been through this. Very very tall tree. Lots of palm trees. Okay, you're probably asking me how come I'm feeling this weird. Well, I'm having emotional moments where this place meant a great deal to me. And it was home. It was home. I used to live in this place. Earthquake hit and all hell broke loose. There was a lot of damage happening in the areas. Buildings were collapsing left and right. Didn't know what the hell was going on. But I worked at a company called Weyhauser. And in the area of Warner Center, if anybody's familiar with San Fernando Valley to the southwest area, right by the Ventura Freeway area, close to the edge. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I'm still shaking at this one here. And forgive me if I'm having a conniption fit, but I am having a conniption fit at this point. Because I was terrified as hell. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. I really didn't. So I'm getting back into the area on Google Maps on this one. Right by the 14 freeway, Topanga Canyon area. There would be an office complex and there would be malls in the area. Not to mention Pierce College. It looked a hell of a lot different than before the 94 quake did some damage to it. A lot of changes to the campus. But I wanted to show you the area that I grew up in and worked in. I worked in a few places throughout my lifetime in this area and even went to Pierce. It was my alma mater, or going to be, till I screwed that damn thing up. What a mess. But right along, what was it, Canoga and Victory area, you would have shopping centers. And one particular area they actually had was Rockwell Rocketdyne, aerospace manufacturing company on Canoga and Victory. Used to have the shuttle engine out there as an advertisement. History altogether gone. Follow Canoga down southward, right after Victory Boulevard until you get to Oxnard. You'll see a lot of buildings, apartment buildings, office buildings. Some of those buildings were not even there. There was one apartment complex I remember out there, but they got rid of that area. They put up more eyesores than I could deal with. Makes navigation screwed up because I couldn't even navigate my way in the area. There have been office buildings I used to be in as a temp for a long period of time until they got rid of that place. Just for whatever they got going on there. But there was an area called the Trillium. They had their own swimming pool. They had their own tennis courts going on before they made changes you see right now on the map. Parking structure that collapsed on them. It was said that the Trillium buildings, two of them that they actually had, were on rollers, so they would shift back and forth when there was earthquakes. This happened right after the 71, so I think they did the manufacturing and building of the area back in between 85 and 94, somewhere in that time. Because they looked so new, so brand new. and I worked in one of them. A company called Weyhauser Mortgage dealt with real estate, commercial and private enterprise. I worked at about the 13th, 14th floor. When the quake hit, it hit on January 17th, 1994, and Martin Luther King's birthday on a Monday. Well, besides having a day off, I had a day off and longer than that because of the 94 quake. It shook everything else inside, but not the buildings. They had structural damage on the outside. Some of the other buildings, actually the apartment complex, collapsed. They had a swimming pool, gone. Everything changed in the 94 quake. As I look at the area past the trillion buildings, there should have been other businesses, and they changed a great deal that I don't recognize the area anymore. I don't. I'm trying to get a visual on the 3D, but they had changed so much. I barely remember what the hell they were. This is my way of trying to understand things that happened. 6,200. Didn't they have? I was there before the apartments. I remember that. They did have a place. There was another insurance place they had out here built, and it was doing stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to remember things that looked like I had been through, but they've changed throughout the decades. That it's kind of hard to look for landmarks, especially when they kept changing them too many damn times on me. Wait a second. That was called Pacific Rim or Pacific something. That was the damn building. I worked on the top floor, accountant department for it. Second level, they actually had offices and a eating facility. That was well after 94 quake. So I was just trying to take a look, see where the hell I was at. But they changed the area so much that I have a hard time trying to navigate my way through San Fernando Valley. I'm sorry, guys. Memory set. Memory set. And of areas that I used to be in. Oh, God. Ugly ice there. There used to be Blue Cross, California. A picture dated back in September 22. Used to be the blue till they moved out of state or different location altogether for the damn call center from hell. Wave of nostalgia is getting through, and I'm getting something in the throat that's almost feeling like I'm all choking the damn stuff. Places I used to work in, places I used to be part of. Surrounding the area of Warner Center, of Canoga and Irwin, a tall white building, solitaire. Used to be Blue Cross California / Will Point / Anthem / history. And that area, that grassy area, well, used to be my stomping grounds concerning about exercising. And what's sushi? You know, it used to be sushi. It used to be a Mexican restaurant. Where the hell's El Torito at? Gone. Gone. Or do they still have it? They still got it. They still got it. Thank God. They had good karaoke there. My brother and I would go there a long time ago. And it had good chips and salsa, I tell you. That was good meals back then. And I used to be in this area. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at what it used to be a place that I would call work and home, but not home. You have to put you have to put a perspective on what's called home, and this wasn't exactly it. It was a workplace, but I'd stayed there for several years and damn near lost my mind at the same time. No joke. Wish it was a joke. But it was terrifying as hell sometimes for me. Deal with the callers from hell in that place. But it was still a place to go. It was still a place. Yeah, I feel it. I know I was talking about medical insurance and I was talking about other things. And I just got off the deep end. I'm not apologizing for it. Some things happen. And some things I still have to talk about. So I will post these things when I can.